Hey guys, it's Camper15 back at it with another video for you guys, and we are back with another chapter review of My Hero Academia. Well, to say that this chapter took a detour from what's apparently going to be happening with Deku and the others, um, I found it quite intriguing, especially what we got here. We get essentially the backstory of Hawks, a little bit more into that backstory, but we really truly get the backstory reveal here. And also, too, we see, how Best Genius was able to, I guess, fool the villain into thinking he was dead. Um, and then, too, it seems like Hero Society, man, it's definitely, and I mean definitely not looking good for some of our, hero friends because, my goodness, they are in, I guess you can say, a whole controversy of what's going on. Anyways, let's get into this manga chapter review. So yeah, anyways, this manga chapter, My Hero Academia manga chapter 299. So next week will be My Hero Academia chapter 300, which is going to be a big accomplishment. Anyways, the backstory starts off with Hawks' family, and Hawks' family, they essentially lived out in like just a broken down, battered down house on the outskirts. And when I mean the outskirts of the city, like literally on the outskirts of the city. Like if you're like just regularly driving and you see like these what look like to be, abandoned like buildings, that's essentially what they were like living in. If you catch my drift and stuff like that. So yeah, now we see his dad, and we know his dad was essentially a hitman. And he really isn't, I guess you can say, a fan of his son. He, a matter of fact, hates his son. And, the one thing is, his dad's criticizing him is because he went out when he wasn't supposed to. And the reason why Hawks went out is because he said his feathers were tingling and stuff like that. So, yeah, now his dad essentially said, you don't leave this house under any freaking rules and stuff like that. Now his mom is like, the TV's not working, honey, and stuff like that. So yeah, but then the dad's like, I don't give a damn, find my next job. Again, showing that he was the type of criminal he was a hitman, which was very freaking interesting and stuff like that. Hogs even says, like, years ago his dad killed someone over pocket change. That's like, my goodness. And in this whole instant, you just have Hawks' father essentially just crap talking him, essentially, ripping at him, saying all these detestable, horrible things. Like there was a part when, he freaking said, what is it? Like, if if your mom never got knocked up, which I was shocked that they even said the word to begin with, you would have never been born and stuff like that. So, Hawks' mom and dad, so Hawks' dad does the hitman stuff. And it seems like, Hawks' mom was like his accomplice, the person he worked alongside. I'm guessing they did, some stuff and she got pregnant. So yeah. That was very freaking interesting there to find out. And also too, the one interesting thing was we also see in his backstory for Hawks is he had a little Endeavor doll, he always snuggled up with and stuff like that. So some time passed and, his mom said like, yo, your father got arrested for essentially trying to steal a car. But he got, arrested and he got stopped by Endeavor and stuff like that, which, after that, heroes to Hawks became a real thing and stuff like that. So, his mom, what she planned on doing next is essentially she's like, well, so they don't, I guess, try to find us next to tie up any loose ends. What is it? We're gonna go run and hide. and they go do that. They're on the run, but the only problem is, Hawks' mom cannot keep up financially to help not only herself but Hawks as well. Um, and essentially they're like living on the streets. So then you have these Hero Commission members essentially come in and tell Hawks like, listen, and albeit this is a kid Hawks say, listen, if you come into our security thing, our protocols, and you come listen to us and we train you and you do all this stuff, we'll support you and back up your entire family and stuff like that. We'll erase your family name, so you don't have any connections to that and stuff like that. And it's like, as a kid, you would think like, why are they asking the kid like all these freaking questions to do all this and that? Of course a kid might say yes to that and stuff like that if it's to help out his parents, and Hawks was doing the best thing for his mom. He wanted to help out his mom, so he took it. Anyways, it cuts back to the present, and we see Best Genius and Hawks, who literally looks like the man is all sorts of effed up. He's got like some masks that that he's using his phone to text and use it to speak. Everything, he is like all effed up, and his wings haven't grown back or anything yet. So we don't even know if his hero thing is done, his hero career is done. We're just going to find out. But I'm driving, and I'm guessing Best Genius, version of his Batmobile. We find some revelations here that essentially, if it wasn't thanks to the hospital, it essentially saved Hawk's life. Otherwise, he would have died and stuff like that. So yeah. Now we also do find out. Okay, we get the truth revealed. How did Best Genius essentially like live, or how did he live? We essentially find out that they did surgery on Best Genius to the point where it looked like he actually was freaking dead, which is freaking crazy. Like, they have that type of technology where you can make somebody have a very, bad wound to the point, it looks like they died. Jeez, man, that's crazy. Two, Hawks also does make a mention that the villains were thinking about potentially turning Best Genius into a Nomu, which, my goodness, that's crazy and stuff like that. Anyways, Best Genius sees something happening, and then he uses his fibers to stop these villains that are getting out of hand. And when Best Genius gets out of his car, he asks the public around, like, yo, where are your heroes and stuff like that? Where are your local heroes? And the public's like, well, you see, our local heroes, after being scrutinized for everything, they kind of just upped and dipped and just said, peace, we're done, or they retired, essentially. Which, again, like we saw in that one chapter a few weeks ago, when Ochako was looking at that one hero who was just like, this might not be cut out for me. I think I'm gonna get me a new job. You're already having heroes in this society now realizing, yeah, I'm not cut out for this. I never thought I'd do this and stuff like that. And they went up and either dipped and got themselves a new job or just retired because they're like, they couldn't take it. So obviously we're seeing the breakdowns of society. Now, we also see this one individual essentially have like an illegal support item essentially, and they have this interesting panel where there are some people that are happy that Best Genius did what he did in terms of the heroes, but you also see there's some people in the crowd in this one panel that just are like, dog, really? Like, come on, please. You couldn't stop a whole assault of a freaking villain rampage. So, you have people looking like that, and it really goes to show, like, this is really bad. Like, the Hero Society, now I don't know what's going on, like, in the rest of the world, but the Hero Society, for now, in Japan, yeah, people in Japan definitely, some of them are starting to lose faith, like, completely, and some of them are like, these dudes are just garbage. They're just doing all this for faith. Anyways, after that scene, so, we cut over to where Hawks and Best Genius go, and we go over to Hawks's house. And essentially, it's where his mom stays at, and we find out that essentially the reason why Dobby knew who Hawks truly was, in their battle, was the fact that his mom, had people who were after her, and his mom essentially leaked the information out about how he's really related to and stuff like that, which is pretty freaking crazy and stuff like that. So yeah, now what we do find out also too is that the Kip Safety Commission is right now shut down effectively. Like, there's nobody running the show. There's nobody telling the heroes what to do, what you can do, what they need to do next. It's just not. It's like it's on like a government shutdown. Like, there's nobody. Like, your government just goes, MIA, and essentially the people within the country are the guys that just run the country, and they just do whatever they need to do and stuff like that. So yeah. Hawks goes on to say that, he goes on to say, like, I'm free of it, I'm free of my shackles and stuff like that. And he goes on to say that's why I think, Twice was a decent guy who was desperately just trying to be helpful and stuff like that. So yeah, and essentially, Hawks says he can relate to the way Twice felt like and stuff like that. So anyways, the manga chapter ends off with saying essentially, even if what Dobby says about the Todoroki family is true, I know things are different now. And essentially Best Jeanist like, so what's your next move, buddy? And essentially Hawks is like, there's a lot for me to clean up, starting with my origin, so to speak. Endeavor's in trouble. And that's where the manga chapter ends off. So I wonder, I don't know what that line means, but maybe my guess is maybe Hawks will, I'm guessing, try to help Endeavor and maybe try to clear up his name and say, yes, maybe this stuff is true. But at the end of the day, he came and showed out, he did the best thing. But again, it's up to the public's interpretation. And right now the public isn't really feeling the best way of how they feel about Endeavor. But good manga chapter. I will definitely say it was kind of odd that, from the last week's manga chapter, they essentially have this whole ending about what's going on with Deku, and then they just totally cut over to a plot point that's not really relevant to what's, Deku related. But maybe in chapter 300 they go back to Deku. We're just gonna have to see where it happens next. But anyways, like I said, next week gonna be a big chapter because next chapter is chapter 300 in My Hero Academia, which at first I thought I speculated that it will be the end of the war, but that happened a few chapters ago. But can't wait to see how the story's going. The more the story's getting on, the more darker it gets. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this manga chapter, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia content. Till then, guys, stay safe out there, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.